Imagine waking up tomorrow feeling completely normal. No terrible pain, no obvious illness, nothing telling you that something dangerous may already be happening inside your body. You go to work. You eat dinner. Maybe you exercise. Maybe you even tell someone, "I feel fine." And that's what makes some medical conditions so frightening. They can develop quietly for months, or even years, before something suddenly goes terribly wrong. A blood vessel can weaken without you knowing. A clot can form deep inside your body. Plaque can slowly narrow the arteries supplying your heart. An abnormal heart rhythm can appear with almost no warning. And sometimes, what appears to be the first symptom is actually the final stage of a problem that has been developing silently for years. Today, we're looking at 10 silent health killers that can sometimes become deadly with little warning. This isn't about making you afraid of every headache or strange heartbeat. It's about understanding conditions that can hide in plain sight and recognizing warning signs that shouldn't be ignored. And wait until we reach number 1, because millions of people are walking around with one of its biggest risk factors right now, and many don't even know it. Let's begin. Number 10. Chronic kidney disease. Your kidneys are remarkably good at compensating, and strangely enough, that's part of the problem. Your kidneys constantly filter your blood, remove waste, balance fluids and electrolytes, and help regulate several important processes throughout your body. But kidney function can decline substantially before someone realizes anything is wrong. Early chronic kidney disease may produce few noticeable symptoms. You aren't necessarily doubled over in pain. You may not feel dramatically sick. Life can continue normally while kidney damage progresses in the background. Eventually, symptoms can include fatigue, swelling in the feet and ankles, changes in urination, nausea, itching, muscle cramps, and difficulty concentrating. But by the time obvious symptoms develop, kidney function may already be significantly impaired. Kidney disease is also closely connected to cardiovascular disease. Diabetes and high blood pressure are major causes of chronic kidney disease, and damaged kidneys can further complicate blood pressure control. That's why routine blood and urine testing can matter so much. A person can feel healthy while laboratory tests tell a completely different story. The lesson? Feeling healthy doesn't always mean every organ is healthy. Sometimes the numbers know before you do. Number 9. Undiagnosed type 2 diabetes. Diabetes doesn't always announce itself dramatically. Type 2 diabetes can develop gradually, and symptoms may be mild enough that people don't recognize them. Meanwhile, excess glucose circulating in the bloodstream can slowly damage blood vessels and nerves. Over time, diabetes can contribute to heart disease, stroke, kidney disease, vision problems, and nerve damage. Some people eventually notice classic symptoms: extreme thirst, frequent urination, blurred vision, unexplained fatigue, slow healing wounds, frequent infections, or unexpected weight changes. But these symptoms can be dismissed. You're tired because you're busy. You're thirsty because it's hot. Your vision is changing because you're getting older. Individually, the clues may not seem dramatic. Together, they may be telling an important story. In severe cases, dangerously abnormal blood sugar can lead to a medical emergency. But the bigger danger is often what diabetes quietly does over many years. It damages the body's infrastructure. And because that damage happens slowly, you may not feel it happening. Number 8. Cardiomyopathy. Now imagine something is wrong with the actual muscle of your heart, but you don't know it. Cardiomyopathy refers to diseases affecting the heart muscle. Depending on the type, the heart muscle may become enlarged, thickened, or stiff. Some people develop obvious symptoms. Others may have few symptoms for a long time. Possible warning signs include shortness of breath, chest discomfort, fatigue, swelling, heart palpitations, or fainting. But there's one reason cardiomyopathy deserves a place on this list. Certain forms can increase the risk of dangerous abnormal heart rhythms. This becomes especially concerning when someone experiences unexplained fainting during exercise, or when a family has a history of sudden, unexplained deaths at relatively young ages. You sometimes hear tragic stories about an apparently healthy young athlete collapsing during competition. There are several possible causes of sudden cardiac arrest in young people, and certain inherited or structural heart conditions are among the possibilities doctors investigate. The important point is that being young, athletic, and physically fit does not make someone immune to every heart condition. Sometimes fitness can hide the problem rather than reveal it. Number 7. Stroke. A stroke can transform someone's life in seconds. One moment they're having a normal conversation. The next, their speech becomes strange. Their face begins to droop. One arm becomes weak, or they suddenly lose balance or vision. Most strokes occur when blood flow to part of the brain becomes blocked. Others happen when a blood vessel ruptures and causes bleeding in or around the brain. The event itself is usually sudden, but many of the conditions that create the risk can develop quietly for years. High blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, atherosclerosis, certain heart rhythm disorders, smoking, and other vascular problems. That's why stroke can feel as though it came from nowhere. The underlying process may have been developing long before the emergency. Remember B, balance problems. E, eye or vision changes. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. And T, time to call emergency services. With stroke, minutes matter. Brain cells deprived of oxygen begin dying. So if someone suddenly develops stroke symptoms, don't wait to see if they disappear. Number 6. Dangerous heart rhythm disorders. Your heart isn't simply a pump. It's an electrical machine. Every heartbeat depends on electrical signals traveling through the heart in a carefully coordinated pattern. Usually, this system works thousands of times every day without you thinking about it. But if that electrical system becomes dangerously unstable, the heart can stop pumping blood effectively. One of the most dangerous examples is ventricular fibrillation. Instead of contracting normally, the lower chambers of the heart quiver chaotically. Blood flow to the brain and other organs suddenly stops. The person collapses. They become unresponsive. And without immediate treatment, death can occur within minutes. That's sudden cardiac arrest. And there's an important distinction. A heart attack is primarily a circulation problem caused by blocked blood flow to heart muscle. Cardiac arrest is primarily an electrical problem in which the heart suddenly stops pumping effectively. A heart attack can trigger cardiac arrest, but they're not the same thing. Sometimes there are warning signs before cardiac arrest: chest discomfort, shortness of breath, palpitations, weakness, unexplained fainting. But cardiac arrest can also occur suddenly. That's why CPR and access to an automated external defibrillator, an AED, can be life-saving. When someone's heart suddenly stops, every minute matters. Number 5. Aortic aneurysm. There's a massive blood vessel running through your body called the aorta. It's the largest artery you have. Every heartbeat sends blood through it. Now imagine part of the wall of that artery gradually becoming weakened and enlarged. That's an aortic aneurysm. And here's the frightening part. An aneurysm can grow without causing obvious symptoms. A person can eat normally, work normally, sleep normally, exercise normally, all while a dangerous weakness exists in the wall of the body's largest artery. If an aortic aneurysm ruptures, severe internal bleeding can occur. Symptoms can include sudden, severe pain in the chest, back, or abdomen, dizziness, rapid heartbeat, difficulty breathing, or loss of consciousness. Another catastrophic emergency involving the aorta is aortic dissection, when a tear develops in the inner layer of the aortic wall. People often describe the pain as sudden and extremely severe. Certain people have higher risk, including older adults, smokers, and people with high blood pressure or certain inherited conditions. Some aneurysms are discovered accidentally during imaging for something completely unrelated. A scan looking for one problem suddenly reveals another, and sometimes that accidental discovery may be life-saving. Number 4. High blood pressure. You probably knew this one would appear somewhere on the list, but don't underestimate it because it's common. High blood pressure has earned one of medicine's most unsettling nicknames: the silent killer. But why? Because many people with hypertension feel completely normal. There may be no headache, no dizziness, no obvious physical warning that blood is repeatedly pushing against artery walls at excessive pressure. But over time, uncontrolled high blood pressure can damage blood vessels and organs throughout the body: the heart, the brain, The kidneys. The eyes. It increases the risk of heart disease and stroke and can contribute to other serious complications. And here's the crucial point. You cannot reliably determine your blood pressure based on how you feel. You have to measure it. Someone can say, "But I feel fine." And they may genuinely feel fine. That's exactly why routine blood pressure checks matter. Sometimes one of the most dangerous numbers in your body is a number you can't feel. Number 3. Brain aneurysm. Now we're entering the top 3. And this one is terrifying because the emergency can begin with a headache unlike anything the person has experienced before. A brain aneurysm is a weakened area in the wall of an artery in the brain that bulges outward. Many unruptured brain aneurysms cause no symptoms. Some never rupture. But when an aneurysm ruptures, blood can suddenly spill into the space surrounding the brain. This is called a subarachnoid hemorrhage. One of its most famous warning signs is a thunderclap headache. The pain reaches extreme intensity very rapidly. People may describe it as the worst headache of their life. Other symptoms can include nausea, vomiting, neck stiffness, sensitivity to light, confusion, seizure, loss of consciousness. The mistake is assuming that an explosive, unprecedented headache is just another headache. A sudden, severe thunderclap headache requires emergency medical evaluation. But here's what makes aneurysms so unsettling. Before rupture, the person may have had no idea it existed. There may have been no dramatic warning, no daily pain, no obvious sickness, just a weakened blood vessel hidden inside the brain, until suddenly it isn't silent anymore. Number 2. Pulmonary embolism. This might be one of the most frightening conditions on the entire list, because the danger can begin somewhere completely different from where the emergency eventually occurs. A blood clot can develop inside a deep vein, commonly in the leg. This is called deep vein thrombosis, or DVT. Sometimes the leg becomes swollen, painful, warm, or discolored, but DVT can also occur without obvious symptoms. Then part of the clot can break away. It travels through the bloodstream, toward the heart, and into the lungs. There it can block blood flow. That's a pulmonary embolism, or PE. A large pulmonary embolism can become life-threatening extremely quickly. Warning signs can include sudden shortness of breath, chest pain that may worsen with a deep breath, rapid heartbeat, coughing up blood, lightheadedness, or fainting. Risk can increase with prolonged immobility, major surgery, hospitalization, certain cancers, pregnancy, estrogen-containing medications, and a personal or family history of blood clots, among other factors. Long periods of sitting can also contribute to risk in susceptible people. And this is why people are encouraged to move around periodically during long trips, when they're able. What makes pulmonary embolism particularly frightening is that sometimes the first obvious sign is already a major emergency. A person might think, "I'm just out of breath. Maybe I'm anxious. Maybe I pulled a muscle." But sudden unexplained shortness of breath or chest pain, especially when accompanied by fainting or coughing blood, is not something to simply ignore. Number 1. Coronary artery disease, heart attack, and sudden cardiac arrest. The number 1 spot belongs to the heart. But the real story often begins years before the emergency. Coronary artery disease develops when plaque accumulates inside the arteries that supply blood to the heart muscle. That process can progress quietly. Someone may feel normal while the arteries supplying their heart gradually become diseased. Eventually, a plaque can rupture. A blood clot can form. Blood flow can become severely reduced or completely blocked, and heart muscle begins to die. That's a heart attack. Most people recognize the classic warning sign, chest pressure or pain, but real heart attacks don't always look like they do in movies. Symptoms can include pressure, squeezing, or discomfort in the chest, pain in the arm, shoulder, jaw, neck, or back, shortness of breath, cold sweating, nausea, lightheadedness, or unusual fatigue. And symptoms can differ from person to person. Some heart attacks are even considered silent, meaning symptoms are absent, mild or not recognized as a heart attack. But there's an even more immediate danger. A heart attack can sometimes trigger a lethal electrical disturbance that leads to sudden cardiac arrest. The heart stops pumping effectively, the person collapses, and the clock begins immediately. That's why recognizing heart attack symptoms matters. It's also why CPR training and public AEDs are so important. You never know when the person standing beside you might suddenly need them. The part most people miss. There's a pattern connecting almost everything we've discussed. The body doesn't always send a dramatic warning. Sometimes the warning is subtle: fatigue, shortness of breath, a swollen leg, an unusual heartbeat, a strange episode of fainting, blood pressure that's been high for years, blood sugar that's slowly creeping upward, or a family history everyone knows about but nobody talks about. And sometimes, there really are very few warning signs. That's why prevention isn't about living in fear. It's about paying attention to risk. Know your blood pressure. Know your cholesterol. Understand your blood sugar. Don't ignore persistent or unusual symptoms. Know your family medical history when possible. Keep up with appropriate medical checkups and recommended screenings, and understand the emergency symptoms that should never be ignored. Some symptoms aren't wait until tomorrow symptoms: sudden chest pressure or severe chest pain, sudden unexplained difficulty breathing, a person collapsing and becoming unresponsive, sudden weakness or numbness on one side of the body, sudden difficulty speaking, a sudden thunderclap headache, coughing blood with shortness of breath, or sudden severe chest, back, or abdominal pain accompanied by fainting or severe weakness. These can have many causes, but some of those causes are medical emergencies. When minutes matter, trying to diagnose yourself can waste precious time. The human body is extraordinary. Every second, your heart beats, your lungs exchange gases, your kidneys filter your blood, your brain processes information, and thousands of biological processes happen without you consciously controlling any of them. Most of the time, everything works. But the absence of pain doesn't always mean the absence of disease. And perhaps that's the most important fact in this entire video. Feeling healthy and knowing you're healthy aren't always the same thing. So don't let this video make you afraid of your body. Let it make you curious about it. Know your numbers, know your risks, recognize the warning signs, and when something feels seriously wrong, don't ignore it simply because you were fine yesterday. Because sometimes the body's quietest problems are the ones most worth finding early. If you learned something today, hit the like button and subscribe to Random Facts for more fascinating stories about science, history, nature, and the hidden dangers most of us rarely think about. And tell me in the comments, which silent killer on this list surprised you the most? Until next time, stay curious and stay informed. Medical disclaimer. This video is for general educational and informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you believe you or someone else is experiencing a medical emergency, contact emergency services immediately.